Hello everyone, my name is Keelan Graham and I will be doing our narrated PowerPoint for today. We are group number 3 and our members include me, Keelan Graham, Marlon Alvarez, Lindsay Blau, David De La Cruz, and Karen Collier. Our project is on the rape of Nanking, or otherwise known as Nanking. So what was the rape of Nanking? The rape of Nanking began on December 13th of 1937. It was a horrible 6-week-long mass rape and murder of approximately 40,000 to 300,000 Chinese civilians. This was committed by the Japanese troops. What is a genocide? A genocide is an intentional killing of a massive group of people. It's usually directed towards a specific race or ethnic group, but in this case, the Chinese civilians were targeted. What were the effects of this genocide? The city of Nanking was burned, people were murdered, raped, and stolen from. Approximately 20,000 women and girls were raped and typically killed in the process. Most property was destroyed as well. Nearly 50,000 Chinese civilians became addicted to heroin because of the Japanese giving out highly addictive narcotics. If you look at the picture to the right, it shows how devastating this time was. You can see the man lying on the ground, dead, with smoke coming from him, and the men to the left of him walking past him like it was nothing. The cruelty of the Japanese was unfathomable. How long had Japan and China been at war before the capture of the Nanking? For nearly 6 years, Japan and China were at war before the capture of Nanking. It began in 1931 when Japan invaded China, which led to a bombing incident. During this time, the Japanese won and obtained control over Chinese territory. Even though Japan typically had success over China, there was a period where China had successful defense against the Japanese, although this did not last long. Since the Japanese were obnoxious and cruel, they wanted to gain influence over China, and therefore this led up to the mass genocide in 1937. What events led up to the rape of Nanking? Many events took place that led up to the rape of Nanking. One being the most significant was on the 25th of September when Japan dropped 500 bombs within 5 flyovers. Approximately 600 people were killed because of this. Nearly a month before the rape of Nanking took place, Japan attacked China from the east, west, and center. And the day before the rape of Nanking, Japan captured and attacked Misty Garden Terrace. What role did foreigners play in Nanking during Japanese control of the city? Part 1. Rabe, Lewis S.C. Smith, and doctors Robert Wilson and S.C. Trimmer all played a part in Nanking during Japanese control. Smith and Rabe recorded and reported casualties to Japanese embassy. Smith was an American missionary and a professor of sociology. The doctors, who worked in difficult conditions without electricity and water for weeks, treated the Chinese civilians' wounds.